Hello, and once again, we are live in the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by Julia. Hello, Julia. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for inviting me today.
Well, again, I am very excited. As you know, I love hearing about people's stories, especially about the Ritual Master Path, because for those people that don't know, the Ritual Master Path is a path in the school that's not really talked about that much, to be honest. There's not much information out there. It's all a bit a mystery, if you like. So I thought it'd be fun to get some feedback on people's their own direct experience. Not about the teachings, but more so of their direct experience. So, Julia, you have been in the school a very long time, walking the path a very long time. So, tell us. Did you want to be a ritual master? Why did you choose to be a ritual master? From being a successful photographer and lecturer, professor in university. How did you end up being a ritual master?
I was thinking about this earlier, and I think for a certain generation, I think for many people, but certainly the group of people known as, some people call them indigos and so forth, being on a mission is pivotal to actually having a really functional life. It's like the core driver. And the truth is that I've always had a very strong calling and a push to play a part in somehow balancing out negative forces, in a way, if you want to say, on the planet. And yeah, sure, I grew up in the thick of apartheid South Africa. And from a young age, I was politicized. And I remember 4 years old being totally freaked out by this regime that I was living under. And so, for me, at first, when I when I realized, oh my God, it's my time to start this path. I was, of course, I didn't think I was ready. I thought I had other, personal stuff to work through before I was ready. But it was a calling, and I think that's a really big key about this path we don't speak much about, because it has to call you before you understand what it is. And it comes, like, for me, it fulfilled a deep inner knowing that I'm here to do something that will play a part in helping the world to change. And it may sound super egotistical, but that's kind of where I come from, and even in the first place, even to choose this path. And the understanding that you can really through this path kind of clear out a lot of the negativity that's within you, so you can be a powerhouse of light to really support other people to bring their light into the world. It was a no-brainer for me. It's a hard question to answer. What's my experience been like? It is the most fulfilling path that I can. It's a path I do not speak about. I don't share with people about it. Most people have no clue that there's something else that I've trained in or do or I'm aware of, that I play a role in supporting good people to be even better people, and for people that are challenged to step into their positivity. People don't have any idea, but because I have not stepped off this calling. I have followed through this calling since 2004. It's so hard to speak about, because it's the absolute most fulfilling thing that I do that I don't speak about. It's like no one gives you these accolades, and says, well, you've now, it's all sort of, you get trained in skills to help good people be better people, and I think it's hard to really describe and to say, but to see people thrive, and we're at this critical time on the planet where so much that doesn't work needs to collapse, and it's a pretty frightening place to be. But at the same time, it has to happen so that good people that have amazing solutions for better things we can do in society need that power and that light support them to be able to just get on and do, to do it. So it's a tricky one to speak about, because it's got to find you through a calling. Really, you've got to feel like I want to be a warrior. I want to say no to things that stop people. And how, I mean, help me out here. I'm not entirely sure even how to speak about this, right? It's like, what do we
I
say?
think you're doing a wonderful job of describing why, and also so some of the practical things I'd like to go into here. So in terms of your, own, journey on the ritual master path,
Mm.
and maybe you talked a little bit about it at the beginning and not thinking you were ready. Has that, I mean, is it an easy path to walk along? Is it like, okay, it's all fairies and, or did you get some resistance, or did you have to overcome obstacles, from a practical aspect? Can you share a little bit about that?
I mean, this for sure it's not an easy path, because there is something which was coming to my mind about this concept of the next step. And the next step, we have these hidden teachings in the universal, the Hermetic Kabbalah, about how do you really access who you are. You have to always be willing to take the next step. And the next step takes a tremendous amount of courage. And on the ritual master path, you have to take next steps. It's like, it's almost condensed. So what you might do in 50 years, you sort of feel the push to do in 7. So there is a condensation of being pushed to or an intensification of needing to really keep taking your next steps. Being comfortable is, that many people say, you don't grow in your comfort zone. Well, you don't live in your comfort zone in this ritual master path, because you end up by being on the path. One of the things is, as the light comes in and the energy comes in, and you've got various tools and whatnot, you are not just obliged, it's like an imperative to take care of the stuff inside of you that is blocking the light. There's no ways for me with my training to bring goodness to others if I am not overcoming the obstacles inside of me. And if I think back to when I left highly successful artistic careers in parallel in different industries, I was doing them seasonally. It was amazing. I had various different specialties in the art field, and I was good in all of them, and I loved all of them, and it was dynamic and creative. And I decided to anchor a mystery school in South Africa. I was met with lots of resistance and opinions and judgments, and it was profound. So certainly there was a lot of resistance to even bringing such a magical, mysterious path that's been hidden for thousands of years. And looking back, in some ways, that feels like a walk in the park, because our next steps always require us to reach deeper than what we thought we could do. I think of tempering steel and how you have to fold the steel over again. If you're making a sword, you have to fold it over again and hammer it, put it back in the fire, and you keep having to temper that sword and put it back in the fire. And when I, even though I thought I wasn't ready, but I knew it was the time, and that's a very big difference. I didn't commit to a class. There was never a concept I held. I committed to a path that I didn't even know what it was, but I knew that it was what I came to this planet to ultimately train in and to do, without anyone necessarily ever knowing. Certainly, we have sessions that we do that are directly out of a training in the ritual master path. People do know about, like emotional core padding and so forth. But but other than that, joining a path that just empowers others to bring light to them. It's quite a big deal to do that without people.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. I love that. Thank you for that explanation. Our time is almost up. I can't believe it. It's just whizzed by. But I really hear you in saying that, and I just I think that's going to be so inspiring for people to understand that they're not not to dismiss
No.
that calling, or that knowing that they're here to do something, and that they are a seeker, and that there is something out there that can help humanity, and that we are, you know, we are here. There are people doing really good things, and maybe not shouting it from the rooftops, but you know, if you have that inner calling, then don't dismiss it. Whatever path, whatever thing you're going to choose, just don't dismiss it. Go, do it, you know.
I think the most important thing, and I know we're out of time, most important thing is that the many prophecies have said that world change is not necessarily going to happen through a single leader. It's going to happen through the people. And the only way we're going to do it is that each one of us follows our calling. For sure, my calling was the Ritual Master Path, which is a hidden part of my life that I keep doing and I keep going. And my job is to bring more light so those good people have less resistance to doing their calling. But we all have to do our calling, and that's how we're going to do it, one person by one person. And we can do it. We would never, we've chosen this calling in the first place. It's not a random, oh, let's give that person that calling. No, we chose it. It comes from within our very soul. We have all the tools to do it. And this particular path really does make you dig deep, 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 deep to find your greatest courage and your greatest power. Yes, absolutely. But whatever our call is, have everything within us, and it's imperative, to be honest, that we follow a calling. You know. So thank you for the time.
Thank you so much for sharing your own experience on this path. It's very, very, I loved hearing about it. So thank you. And thank you everybody for tuning in.